from your point of view, do you see any sort of common mistakes in, say, an opening chapter or manuscript that might put you off like a good, promising sort of story?
I think if the story is promising enough, then we can change the first chapter. I do think a lot of writers fall into the trap of sort of feeling they have to set up the story before going into the story. So I don't mean you have to open with some sort of car chase or something dramatic, but you can open with something that has impact. And I think it's very important to like consider your first line and your first page, because we do get a lot of submissions and you want yours to stand out. I always reference Liz Nugent. She's the Irish crime writer of Lying in Wait and Strange Sally Diamond and Unraveling Oliver and some others. And I just think every single book of hers, the first line is incredible. I should actually memorize them because I always refer to them, but I actually can't think of them off my head, but they are really, really good. So have a look at that if you want an example of a good first line. And I think it's important to realize that, you don't have to start. You wouldn't believe how many submissions we get, which is like the writer or the protagonist is like stuck in a traffic jam and it's raining and it's like, oh my god, like, who cares? So like, can you just get to something like, whether it's a great character observation or a great line of dialogue or something. You don't really have to set up the story and then do the story. You should be able to do those simultaneously. I think that's the biggest mistake I see in early first drafts.
I think a lot of people are maybe afraid to start with dialogue as the opener because of what you're saying,
Yeah, I think, and dialogue is really hard. I wouldn't say I was a super expert at dialogue, but I think it's just trying to grab the reader in straight away and not feeling like, readers are smart. You haven't got to like set everything up and then, it's no good saying, oh, but just get to chapter 3 and then it all gets really good, because it's like, unfortunately, we as agents and editors, we will not get to chapter 3 if your first chapter is not strong enough. So really, if you're gonna pick, obviously the whole book should be good, but like if you're gonna put your energy anywhere, like really try and hone the beginning. If you have a really strong concept in the beginning, doesn't work, but for some reason I carried on reading, we can make changes. Your book hasn't got to be perfect when it comes to us, because otherwise, I wouldn't have a radio job. So hopefully it's not perfect.